Hey everyone, welcome to the Gyrl podcast. I'm Kyra Mitchell Lewis and thank you for joining. I hope you all are doing well. I hope everyone is having a wonderful week. Well, today I'm so excited. I'm going to be joined by Jess Joswick. She is founder of Backbone Business and also a business coach. Jess helps founders who are overwhelmed, overworked, and over their whole business get back to their freedom, stability, and profitability so that they can create happy, healthy lives for themselves and their teams and run the businesses they were born to lead. Does that sound like you? I don't know about you, but I definitely think that I've been there with my business. So if that does sound like you or you're experiencing any of those feelings, you'll want to stick around for our conversation. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the Glow Up Girl podcast. I'm Kyra. All right, let's bring Jess into the Glow Up Girl podcast. Welcome to the Glow Up Girl podcast, Jess.
Thank you so much, Kyra. I'm really excited to be here today.
Yes. So let's go ahead and dive in. So why don't you tell the audience out there listening and watching and just, I'm going to say it, everybody. She has great hair, right? I'm already over here like, man, I wish I could pull that off. So we
thank you.
Love her hair. So those of you who are listening, you need to go over to YouTube and watch us so that you can see her hair. So why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do?
Yes. So I am a business coach for online entrepreneurs who want to build high ticket programs and high performing teams. So what that means is folks who primarily work, from their computers, definitely, but who are really service-based businesses. Mm-hmm. So your website designers, your copywriters, your coaches, consultants, mm-hmm. and who are working with people who are usually online, but can also be in a hybrid situation of some sort, mm-hmm. and are usually selling services too. So we're all B2B, mm-hmm, B2B, mm-hmm. B2B, businesses.
Yes. Well, I love that this is your focus because it's just really hard, right?
Yeah.
So it's really hard to get the high ticket, client. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're on, I was just going to say, like, when you're on Instagram and like every 2 flips of a story is somebody offering something for $37 or $7. If you download it today, it's only $37.
Right.
$7 today. And, and you think to yourself, because someone told me, it's like, you don't need to like devalue the offering your work, in order to try to get, even if you like lower the price to something like $37, it's like, well, how many $37, how many of those do you need to actually make the amount that you could make on like one like client that signs a contract?
Yes, the math doesn't really math a lot of the time, and it can really be a race to the bottom. You're exactly right. Yes.
So when people come to you, mm-hmm. What does someone usually sound like? Do they sound like what I just said? Like, help me, please. I want to get the high ticket client. What do they normally look like outside of them being, service-based business? What are the challenges they are experiencing?
They're usually experts at what they do already. Mm-hmm. They have often been doing the thing for a while, and they're often caught in what I call the corrosive client cycle. So and that usually starts when they have been, what kicks it off really is they've been relying on referrals for a minute. And that's because they've been good at what they do, frankly. Right. And so they've been just sort of coasting, and they've been doing marketing when they're able to do it. And so they've been in this sort of up and down process where they've been doing marketing when in their downtime. Mm-hmm. And then when they get busy, they stop. And they've been raising prices sort of incrementally, and raising prices when basically clients tell them it's okay. And then lowering them when clients balk and say, I can't pay that or can't afford that, which is more often the case.
Right.
And they're not really sure how to put offers together, and they don't have a business background. They're really good at the thing they do, but not the business side of it. They don't have business training. So they've kind of pieced together the $37 freebies, as you said, some programs, some courses along the way, but they don't really have a solid backbone, which is the name of my business, Backbone Business. They don't really have a solid foundation of, what am I doing? Like, what is so they have a patchwork. And so they're in this corrosive cycle of marketing when I can do it, referrals when I get them, but not really the whole picture of a business, frankly, of a consistent, reliable, we do this all the time, sort of process of marketing constantly, sales constantly, offers that I really love, believe in, that my clients believe in and like and buy, and a clear picture of what the whole year looks like.
And so I think you said something really, really important. First of all, I have a friend who's a real estate agent, and she's been getting a lot of referrals. And so in my everyday life, I'm a marketer. And so I was working on had sort of built out this strategy for her and said, this is what I think you should do. But then she got really busy. And so then we stopped, so it just was like, oh, okay, I'm going to look at that. But I think it's that same thing. It's where, she's like super busy now, but eventually you're going to get to a place where that well is going to get a little empty, right? Where you're like, okay, now I need some more people. And she was saying, she was literally saying that to me. She was like, I need to get back, in my marketing. But yes. I think the second thing you said that's really key, and I will say that for me personally, being a person that has, the marketing background, but it is the business. It is thinking about what are the offers? What are the things, that what's going to sustain your business and keep it going? Even when, yes, marketing plays a role into that, but your marketing offers that are going to drive the funnel and drive the business, and not just, it's not so much, marketing, I got this special for this, week, but it's that nurture, the thing that nurtures them. And, yes, you might be an expert, but how do you get people to believe what you're doing, and that, how do you get people to believe that you are the expert?
Yes. Right. Yes. And in fact, a content, expert I work with calls them plot arcs, because it really is like a long, you're playing the long game. And I call it the corrosive client cycle, because it really is so invasive, or it really is so destructive, because you may not feel that pain of not having marketing for months or a year, because it sneaks up on you. It could be very delayed. The cycle can be, 6 months, 18 months, but as sure as the tide rolls in, you're going to feel it. You're going to go right back up to the front of, oh, here I am again. I'm back to the top of, I don't have any clients, and I'm scrambling. So it's a huge problem. And unfortunately, that's where a lot of my clients are when we start working together. And I much prefer people be at the point, of where I'm plateaued. I'm fine, but I like to be, dreaming bigger. I like to, I know that I can be, I know that I can ascend, basically.
Okay. I like that. Well, let's talk about now the role that having healthy habits as an entrepreneur. What role does that play in you actually being successful? So what is the deal with forming habits?
Yes. What is the deal? It's such a big deal. That's what the deal is.
Right?
Yes. So the deal is that, a lot of folks talk about strategies and here's the play by play, here's the roadmap essentially. And that has its place. And, but strategies, tactics, even mindset, these are all parts of the puzzle. And those are necessary, but insufficient parts of success. You need a system to get where you're going, and habits are a part of your system. They help you see your small wins along the way, and they really help you keep going when the going really gets tough. And in entrepreneurship, it's going to get tough, on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
absolutely. I sort of think of it as if car companies made a car, they put the wheels on it, they, put the seats in, they put the oil in, they put the engine in, really powerful engine, all the bits and bobs, the steering wheels in there. But they forgot to put the gas gauge in. So they, you have no idea how much of the most important resource in the car is left.
Right.
To get that, the thing that keeps the whole thing going. So, and so that's what it's like to not have your habits. You have no idea how much you have left in you. And how much the business has left of the business's important resource, which is money.
Right.
So healthy habits really give you what I call the 3 types of wealth, which is money, energy, and time. And so if you sequence your habits in the right way, it will be ultimately a really effortless process with less effort to really give you a really healthy and wealthy life and business.
Now, how are habits forming, healthy habits and mindset related?
Yeah. So I just to get on the same page here about what mindset is, because that's like a big, concept. So I define mindset as, the way we think about ourselves, our lives, and our obstacles, and really the world. I mean, just, how we perceive the world and how we create our mindset it's a product of a few different things. I mean, it's a product of, how we grew up, our culture, our values, our profession as well. Our family, and the society and culture really that we're raised in. And so, I like to say that we can't heal the world just by thinking differently. So too, we can't heal our business just by having good habits. We can't just change our business by changing, by adding a few really great habits. We can't just fix everything like that. But this is where a concept called identity shifting comes into play. And this is from the book Atomic Habits, which is a great book. I really recommend it. It's by James Clear. And I tell everybody to read this book, frankly. And this whole idea is basically, if you want your habits to stick, you need to stop talking about them as you need to shift the way that you talk about them. So if you want to start waking up early, you need to shift away from talking about it as in, I'm trying to get up early, towards, right?
Yeah.
I think we've all done that in some way, like, oh, I'm trying to get up early, to I'm a morning person. So just that little tweak is moving it to this type of person, you are this individual.
Yeah.
So, and so that's how they're connected. You are now taking on this role. You are now, this is your identity. So that's how I see them as connected.
I like that. And I love that you use the morning. I am, or when people say, oh, I'm trying to get up early, or I'm not a morning person, because I hear so many people always say, oh, you must be a morning person because you're up so early. And I was like, no, I just like have things that I want to do. So in order for me to do them, I get up early. Like I get up of course I'd like to still be asleep and not get up at 5:50 every day. But I get up at 5:50 because I have to work out. I have to take my dog, I want to do those things before I sit down and start working every day. And so it's like, I mean, of course, I just think like it's so true what you said, because it's just like, well, yeah, of course, I just lie in the bed and watch TV in the morning or whatever and wouldn't get up until I felt like getting up. But it is a mindset shift. You just are telling yourself that, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm getting up early in the morning. I mean,
yeah. Yes. And, once you realize that, some of these things are possible, and really it is a matter of, just as you said, starting small. And, again, that's up to you, the definition of what is small, what is big. For some of us, getting up early is small. For others, that's like, whoa, I need to start way smaller than that.
Yeah.
Right. But, it's interesting what we tell ourselves is possible and impossible.
Right. Yeah.
And so some of these things that feel, when we reflect back, like, wow, I really thought that was impossible for me to do. Get up on stage and speak to people and talk about my business. Wow, I really felt it was impossible to, sell this offer or claim this space or, set a boundary with an individual or, whatever the case may be. And now I'm doing it, and it's really not, it's still a little uncomfortable, but I'm doing it with way more ease, and I'm doing it because I really, believe in something. I believe in the impact. I believe in the ripple effect of what I'm doing. And so, the things that once felt so like, whoa, never in a million years, are now just part of your life. So
can I ask you this, because I did see that you posted something today that caught my attention that I loved, by the way.
Yes.
You said that you're an introvert, which obviously, and you're a person that, you said you are not comfortable always being in the front. So by what you just even said about being able to step into the forefront and talk about your business and the impact, and look at, obviously working with people and the impact that you have in helping other entrepreneurs. Was that a part of you shifting your mindset and forming habits, whether it may have been, I'm going to start speaking, at online or, in-person events or whatever? Was that a part of your forming healthy habits?
Yes. So that's a great question. I think that was really, that was a decision for me, because I think I just got tired of small results and of being in the kiddie pool, so to speak, and of really realizing that, what the other things that I was doing were always going to produce smaller results than the big scary thing that I really was avoiding. And so it just kind of, there became a day where I was like, there really is one option here. And I guess I kind of have to do it. I have to find a way to get over this fear. And so the habit that I had to develop around that was talking to myself and saying, reminding myself that it was a self-compassion moment. I'm still safe, no matter what happens. Probably nobody's gonna, get mad at me if I go up on stage here and say something.
Yeah.
No one has yet. We'll see, but it could happen, right? You never know.
Yeah.
But whatever happens, it really takes, being visible in any way, whether, online, in person, both, like being visible does take, self-acceptance. Whatever happens, you have to approve of yourself. You have to, and it's really hard. It's really, really hard.
Yeah. Well, kudos to you for doing it, because it's definitely not, when it's not something that is like your first nature to want to do, right? So kudos for pushing yourself to overcome that fear and continuing, because I know it's a continual effort, right? You don't just wake up every day being like, I'm ready to present.
Well, thank you. It's more comfortable now, for sure.
Yeah. I think that's great, and I think that's really good for not only entrepreneurs, but just anyone who is listening or watching to hear this story, because it is, like you said, it's showing up and being visible. It's also, because you're letting other people into your world. You're letting people in, you're letting them see you, and, in a world where everybody's just like vomiting themselves everywhere for people to see all the time. It's just like, okay, no, I don't want to know. It can be just very overwhelming. And I've gone through that on my side as well, like with having my business, and people say, well, you need to show up, you need to go live, you need to do all these things, and people have to see you. And I was just like, it's like at some point you're like, okay, yeah, I don't mind doing it sometimes, but like I don't want to do it like every day, because I don't really have anything that I need to come tell somebody every day.
Right.
Like, I went outside. Look, I went outside today, y'all.
Yeah. It's hard to be insightful every day, right? Like, I don't today I'm out. I don't know.
Like some people can do it, and hey, more power to you if that's who you are and that's how you connect. I'm just more of like, I'll show up when I have something to say, but like I can't like every day. It feels very overwhelming. Yeah. And it feels very like intrusive. Like I definitely could be somebody who wakes up and goes live as soon as like I open my eyes, and it's like, it's morning, guys, I'm up. No, thank you.
Yeah, right.
So I think that's a great, I think you show up in the ways and be visible in the ways that matter, where you feel like you can have impact. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I feel like that's what you've chosen, to help not only for you to grow, but then also for your business to grow.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. It's definitely, it's always I guess it's a work in progress is what I want to say.
Yeah.
It's a balance.
We're always, that's what we believe here. That's really the mission of what I do here is, we're always evolving, and we need to continue to try to evolve into the best version of ourselves.
Yes.
We're going to slip, whatever, but you just keep pushing forward. Now, let's talk about, people probably hear habits, the word habit, and you're like, oh, do I have to do the same thing every day? Like, so right. When we talk about developing these healthy habits, what could that look like?
Yes. So, well, it's a little bit of a good news, bad news situation for my folks who are resistant to that idea. And I know a lot of people, a lot of my clients are definitely resistant to that. So I would say if you are, using habits to acquire a new skill, or, shifting identity, going back to that idea. Then the main idea with that is to do the thing no matter how long you do it. And so James Clear gives the example in his book of going to the gym. Let's say, you're trying to develop that habit. Going to the gym for a minute, literally 1 minute, going there and leaving. It's just the idea that you have gone, you have done the action of going there. So the duration doesn't matter. So if that's the thing you're trying to do, you're trying to, take up an activity, then yes, you have to do it every day. So the research, points to that. Now, I say, if you are doing a high value habit, that's what I call it with my clients, in again, those three categories, money, time, and energy. Those are flexible categories. And, I recognize as entrepreneurs, like we don't have, not every day is the same, and we don't come to every day with the same level of focus, time on task, energy level. Like, we don't start the day with the same fuel in the tank.
Right.
And, or the same time, that we're able to devote to our business, from the get-go. So I, would say, first of all, as a CEO, your number one job is to bring in money. So just taking that as an example, what can you do as a money task every day? That's a flexible category. So some days, if you need to do a money task, which I say, yes, you should do one every day. Some days, if you have time, you've got a sales call scheduled. Awesome. That's your money task. Other days, maybe your money task is, going on a social network, a social platform, and talking about your offers, or just mentioning what you've done recently with your offers. So those are different levels of energy. Those are different levels of time commitment, but they still fall under the category of money.
Right.
So, the point is that you're still doing something in that category. So, do you have to do the exact same thing every day? In my book, no. But you still have to be managing these things in those three areas that give you the wealth that you're looking for.
Okay. I like it. So how can we, listening, watching, how do we create our own high value habits?
Yes, this is a great question. So I like to, before making decisions, I like to know what's going on in your life right now and in your business. Go off of not just your intuition, and intuition is good, but let's get some data behind it as well. So that means doing an audit, which will excite some people, and others will be like, ooh, okay, now I gotta track it. So but it's really helpful to look at where are you falling down? Is it a certain time of day where you are getting off track, or where, your energy tumbles or something like that? So just keeping a log hour by hour of what you're doing, what happened over the past hour, stuff like that. So what you did, just literally, 9 to 10, this is what happened, 10 to 11, stuff like that.
Okay.
And then after doing that for a week, you'll be able to see if there are any patterns. And then, you'll be able to create some habits then, and see, let's say from 9 to 10, I have a lot of trouble, getting going on work. What can I do to create a habit, or even a habit stack to get me into work. And a habit stack is literally a stack of tiny tasks or tiny habits that give you some momentum to get you to a task. So, in the three areas, with wealth, it can be having, like I said, those daily money conversations. You can talk to past clients, for referrals and affiliates. You can talk about your offers. You can think about different offers and freebies. And with time, I love to do batching. And a lot of studies have shown that, batching your tasks, and batching, let's say you need to create a lot of content. You probably know this being in marketing, right? If you need to make content, breaking down the steps of content creation, really helps you actually get the content done. So shooting the video, but shooting all the videos at once.
Yes.
Instead of steps 1 through 5 of getting the whole reel done or whatever. Yeah. So with time, even, setting boundaries. And I like to point out with energy, of course, exercise, of course, rest. But we also forget about those things that are energy leaks, like forgiving other people, forgiving ourselves. And of course, our friend boundaries is a huge energy leak for us. We spend so much time as entrepreneurs ruminating about what we could have done better. Did we do that thing right? Worrying about what the future will hold. And so noting when, how much time we spend doing things like that is really helpful as well.
I like that. Those are all really great. Love that.
It can be scary, the mind of an entrepreneur. Watch out.
So why don't you tell us about the programs that you offer and how people can work with you?
Yes. So my high ticket offer, my high ticket program, is a really holistic program. It's called Founders Circle. And this is a program for online entrepreneurs who really want to put their, piecemeal offers together into the high ticket offer of their own. And they really want to grow without feeling frazzled. They want to put a program, not just a program together, but they want to put together the skills that they've missed and get support from a group and from a coach over the long term. And have the community to grow bravely without the burnout. So I have that, and then I have a program that is opening up in a few months in September called High Ticket Hero, that is focused on creating, marketing, and launching your high ticket offer. And super excited about that. It's the second cohort, and the first one was awesome. They're all launching right now, and it's really fun to see them get out there in the world. Yeah.
Now, is a Founders Circle program, is that an ongoing program?
Yes,
Okay.
It is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, not a lot of people focus on helping people create high, ticket offers. I mean, and I think, programs like yours can help people to get to that place where you feel less stressed and burnout, because the burnout comes from just always trying to do the one-off things.
Yes.
Usually the that's just because you saw somebody else did it. So you're gonna do something similar, and you're just in competition to do these little quick hits. And I like what you said earlier about like being in the kiddie pool.
Let's get out of the kiddie pool. No,
yes.
Let's go deep. Time to go deep.
Yes. All right. Well, this has been great. And before I got two more segments with you before I let you go.
Ooh, okay. I'm ready.
Up next is what I like to call 3 things. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions.
Okay.
First, I'd like to know, how do you start your day?
Okay. So, how do I start my day? I meditate. I try to meditate twice a day. Mm-hmm. So I kick it off with a 20-minute meditation. Usually one of my cats sits in my lap, which is very helpful for the process. Mm-hmm. And then I walk around the block. Well, more than around the block, through my neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then, excuse me, I really, make coffee and breakfast and all of that, and get to work. And that's awesome. About it. It's really not anything fancy.
What's the goal you've set for yourself this year?
Ooh, so I have a whole goals chart, actually. Mm-hmm. I have a few different goals. One of them is definitely maintaining a fitness, a movement regime, mm-hmm. I guess, is what I would call it. So my Peloton is right here. And I am very motivated by those virtual badges. Mm-hmm. They work on me for sure. So I really, it just makes me feel good. I do it, after I close out my workday. Mm-hmm. And I really like the weight training, and, mm-hmm. it's just something that kind of just clears my head. Mm-hmm. All of the things that I was never into sports or anything, and mm-hmm. or any kind of fitness, to be perfectly honest. And this is kind of the first thing that just kind of stuck with me. Mm-hmm. I don't know why.
It is pretty fantastic. I mean, I love the strength. I love taking the strength classes. Like, I don't know. I think it's just when I tell you a company that did a good job marketing. It's definitely Peloton. I mean, because it just makes you feel like, I can do that too. Or it's just like, those are people that are just like me, and right. I can dive in there and do it. And it is just a lot of fun. And one thing I really love is that they like reward, like I remember getting the email one day where it's like, you're at your 100th class. Right. And, like, we're going to send you a t-shirt. And I was like, for me? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Thank you, Peloton. Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
I was so excited about that. So, I mean, I definitely think there's more. And then they just have a really great community. Like the community itself is just pretty awesome. They have great instructors, and just the community they built is just pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm into it.
All right. So, okay. I'm going to give you an additional question.
Okay.
What's in your playlist? What are you listening to these days?
Oh man. So it's a little all over the place now. So, I am I'm actually into metal. So my husband got me into metal. So mm-hmm. I like some folk metal, which is a sub-genre of metal. But I also like some like Spanish language pop. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing Rosalia in the fall. I'm really excited. I just bought tickets to the show with my friend. And I really have I used to be in college and stuff. I used to be really into music. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of have fallen off throughout the years. So mm-hmm. whenever I see these I'm always like, I don't know all these artists anymore. It's who are these people? I don't know. It's like,
I know.
It's like some people, it's like, I like Doja Cat. I like, I get these like snippets of things, and like someone's like, oh, I really like this. This is fun. And then sometimes I see these artists and I'm like, wow, this person's really popular and I have no idea who this is.
Right.
I like Bunny. I like, there's these like snippets of things that I like. And then it's like, this person's really big and I have no idea who this is.
Right.
And I feel really out of touch.
I definitely love a daily mix Spotify list, because I feel like you meet new artists that you didn't know. And so, you don't have to like go overboard with them if you don't want. You just hear one song and be like, oh, I like that song. So I hear you. I hear you. All right. And last, how do you end the day?
So with Peloton, often, as I said, often with Callie.
I love Callie. She is like she's one of my top.
Yes. And what else do I do? I like to read. So I read a lot of sci-fi series and fantasy. I'm definitely on a kick right now in that, in those genres. And what else? I often do get together. I like to get together with friends as well. Go out for, dinner. Definitely.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you. I feel like we got to know you even better now.
Yes.
All right. Well, lastly, what would you say are 3 things that you would like the audience to take away from this discussion today?
Yes. Well, definitely that habits are empowering, and, definitely not scary. That, to take it day by, to start small with them, try it out. So take them small and try it out. It's trial and error, trial and error process. I have a phrase that is to C+ it. Don't go for the A right away, to C+ it. If you don't get it right the first time, it's fine.
Right.
Try it again, try something different. And lastly, that habits aren't just about becoming, this wealth machine or becoming a better person, whatever that looks like. It's about really enjoying the ride. It's about, enjoying who you are right now. And it's about, really staying in the moment now. So, it's not about, your future person, your future self. It's about right now.
Yeah, I like that, because we've been conditioned almost to always be thinking ahead. 5 years down the road, where are you going to be?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
exactly.
and lastly, please tell the audience out there how they can connect to you.
Yes. So I am on Instagram. That's probably my most, I'm most active on there of all my social places, at Backbone Business. I'm also on LinkedIn at Jess Joswick. And my website is backbone-business.com.
Awesome. And you can also find these in the show notes as well. So Jess, thank you so much. This was a great conversation. I think very helpful. I learned a lot and just got a lot of good tips from you today.
Oh, great. That's awesome to hear. Thank you so much for having me on here. This was a lot of fun on this end too.
Well, stay tuned, everyone. I'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Glow Up Girl podcast. I'm Kyra. Thank you again to Jess for joining the show and dropping some great nuggets about how to create healthy habits for our business. If you want to learn more about her and her business, check her out at backbone-business.com. You can also check the show notes as well and check out Glow Up Girl at glowupgirl.com. You'll find all of our social handles there and so much more. So as always, thank you all so much for spending time with me today, and I appreciate your support and I'm so grateful to all of you. If you want to drop me a line, feel free. hello@glowupgirl.com, or find us on Instagram and drop me a DM. So until next week, stay focused, fab, and glow up. Take care, everyone.